Hey guys, so we're back. We're here with one of my favorite guests. This is Susan Foy. She is our premier local attorney for trust and wills. Susan and I, we go back close to about 8-9 years now.
Right.
And she's been in the industry practicing law for the last 25 years.
For close to 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you relevant real estate information, the best marketing and selling strategies to get the highest price for your home with the least amount of hassle to you. Welcome to the Frank Del Rio Real Estate Show.
So a lot of the time, Susan, when we talk about doing a trust, people want to know, well, how long does it take? What's typically a good rule of thumb in terms of the time frame to get it all set up and, you know, in place?
Sure. So it really depends on my workload, but most of the time I can turn around drafts within 2 weeks. And then it really depends on the client, how quickly you want to move forward and how ready you are to move forward. But usually a couple weeks I can get drafts out. I do have emergency situations where somebody needs a trust or a will right away, and I usually accommodate them as quickly as I possibly can.
No, absolutely, and I can tell you from personal experience, we had a client, unfortunately, his brother had been diagnosed and was told he only had so much time, really, to live. And so we found out that they didn't have a trust in place. So at a moment's notice, they got a hold of Susan. Susan put it all together. The brother, who's going to be now the executor of this trust, is in New York. And our client put it all together with Susan in ample time. Unfortunately, the owner did pass away, but he had put everything together in the trust, which saved him and his family, their family, countless dollars in fees and, you know, other items that could have been lost having to go through probate. So, you know, I definitely appreciate you doing that for them, but everyone's circumstances is different, right?
Right. And I do appreciate you working with them too. We were able to take care of the family pretty quickly. The reason I started to giggle is I thought you were going to bring up a different situation where I had clients who were going out of town and they wanted things done on a really quick basis. And so we were able to do that as well.
That's so right. I was going out of town, and you know, we were taking an international trip, and so certain things came up that my wife was concerned with, rightfully so. When you own assets and you have children, and certain decisions have to be made, and it was my wife and I traveling. So thank you so much for taking care of us. Of
course, happy
with
to
that. You know, we weren't selling a house, but we were leaving the country, and so it's important that when you have assets, when you have responsibility, children, and all these other things that come into play with being a family man, essentially, or even a business owner, it's nice to have the best counsel you can defer to and ask, hey, do we need to fix this? Absolutely, we'll take care of it. You guys go. And then we ended up going and having the peace of mind that, heaven forbid anything happened, our wishes were taken care of, and so I really appreciate that. I appreciate you giving my wife the peace of mind so we could have a great trip, which we did. Let's talk about costs. What is something like what does a trust typically run roughly? What would you say people would have to spend for something like that?
Sure. Well, being a lawyer, I'm not going to answer it right off the bat. It really does depend on your circumstances and the complexity of the estate that you need to have built for you. But roughly, typical package deal I would do on a flat rate basis of about right around $2,000. If you need a trust amended, I would do that on an hourly basis. But there's different ways to handle it, but that's a typical answer.
And here's the thing, guys. Think of it from the big picture, right? Because a lot of people try to take the inexpensive route, and then they end up having to get their home. In terms of real estate sales, we go to sell a home. Turns out that the trust that they got from this attorney who was doing it for like $200 didn't do it properly. They still had to go through probate, cost them tens of thousands of dollars. Don't put yourself or your family in that kind of position. Definitely moving forward, guys. If you want to speak with Susan, if you're a family, you don't have a trust, you want to put your property in a trust. If you're a family who's going through loss right now and there's properties, there's assets involved and siblings and still one of the parents is alive or one of the owners, get going with speaking with Susan so that you guys can really have a clear picture of what direction you want to go with the assets, with the properties, and you name it, because it's so critical moving forward. Thank you so much for coming by and talking to our customer base. We're definitely going to have her out again because there's so much we can talk about when it comes to trusts and wills and how it benefits you with your home, with saving you money in the long run. So really appreciate you stopping by today.
My pleasure. Good to see you, Frank.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.